I began studying music when I was about 7 and studied with kind of the quintessential little old lady down the street.
I would just sit down and I would plunk notes out on the piano, and my mom decided to put me in lessons when I was 5, and I've been playing ever since.
I've just always been super attracted to this instrument. The beauty of its tone and the possibilities, the layers that it can bring rhythmically, melodically, and harmonically is something that I've just never been able to quite tear myself away from.
I started actually playing the piano originally so that I could arrange parts, so that I could arrange vocal parts and horn parts. And I just found it so much easier to sit down on the piano and work that out because of the visual nature of the instrument.
Absolutely loved contemporary music. I would go to sleep with a transistor radio basically every night.
Contemporary music gives people the opportunity to explore the piano in a way that people might not really be familiar with. There are so many different things that you can do with a piano and with a keyboard, and all sorts of different sounds you can make.
There's just no limit. There's just no limit to the level of self-expression you can attain when you open yourself up to the world of contemporary music.
I think everybody should play the piano. I mean, I don't think there's any greater life pursuit than that I can think of, where there's just music to keep you busy for the rest of your life.
Here at McNally Smith, we are a contemporary music school, but we also are quite steeped and have specialists in the area of classical music, jazz, as well as a concentration on what a contemporary keyboard player's role is in contemporary music. Being a soloist, working in the context of a group, and all of the things that that means, whether they're playing an acoustic piano or whether they're playing electronic digital pianos, or whether they're layering strings over somebody else's arrangement. All of these things can be done very effectively if you've got a solid background as a keyboard player.
To really milk the opportunities that there are in contemporary music, you know, by having some keyboard skills, you've got to know how that connects to technology.
The keyboard is such an obvious entry point into the more electronic forms of music. Usually you'll see in front of a digital workstation a keyboard that you would use to enter all the information.
Being a keyboardist is really cool because there's so many different types of keyboards. This school has really introduced me to not just being a piano player, but actually being a keyboardist, learning electric piano, learning Rhodes, learning what a Wurlitzer, clavinet, synthesizers, and how those apply to different styles of music, which is something that if you want to be a working keyboardist, are really things that you need to know.
It's been really cool to be able to explore different layers to create a fuller sound, as opposed to just playing piano and singing. I can layer it with strings and synth, and I can even put percussion on there and bass and kind of crazy sounds to create an entirely different ambiance than just sitting down at a piano.
It allows you to get kind of the whole musical picture under your fingers, because you can play bass lines, you can play chords, you can play melody, you can harmonize melodies, and that's so helpful when you're trying to think about pulling together all those elements into an arrangement. I think that was what really attracted. I mean, it is in essence kind of an orchestra within itself.
Knowing the roles of the other instruments, knowing how those instruments are played, having a strong enough background in that so you can create a piece of music that sounds like a drummer, a bass player, a guitar player, a string player actually played it, but you've done everything from the keyboard. In addition to focusing on those critical keyboard skills, you also have the opportunity to participate in a lot of different ensemble playing, different stylistic genres, which of course require a keyboardist to utilize different skills.
Over 40 different ensembles that run almost every semester here, so whatever genre you want to experience, we've got it.
From funk to soul to blues to rock to folk to bluegrass.
You are continually exposed to new things and new ideas, and being on the keyboard, you have so many ways to apply that to music.
I've done R&B ensemble, the blues ensemble, and my favorite one would be the jazz fusion ensemble. And we represented McNally Smith in Guatemala earlier this year. So that was a nice little 10-day jazz tour. That was a blast.
In the process of playing in those environments, you meet a lot of people. I mean, we draw students from all over the world, so you end up interacting with different students from different backgrounds, different interests.
My favorite part is probably just the collaboration between our department and other departments and other instrumentalists. It's really fun to be able to come together and really collaborate on some awesome material.
Their career has really started from the first day that they walk in and start interacting with their fellow students.
They can connect with students of other types, which I think is important too. We have music business students here. We also have recording students. And a lot of the opportunities will come from interactions with these other areas, not just the performance area.
Because working together is something that's so critical to this business. It really is a people business. We've essentially built a school that we wished we'd had available to us when we were coming up.
There are very few programs like it in the country, maybe even in the world. And you get a lot of personal attention here and a lot of opportunities to try and find your voice.
Keyboard students at McNally Smith are going to be involved in everything from entrepreneurship, ensemble playing, the artistry, everything they need to know to make a life in music.